Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Data Toolkit. In today's tutorial, we will learn about the compute. What is the compute in the Azure Databricks? So let's understand. The cluster is the group of computers working together to process the data in the Databricks. It also runs the commands inside the notebook and automate the job that runs on the schedule. So there are two types of the cluster, that is the all-purpose cluster which is used for running the commands in a notebook, and the job cluster that is created only when a scheduled job need to run and shut down after. So let me show you onto the portal. So you can see here this is the Databricks and this is the option compute. So you can click on compute, then click on create. You can create from here and you can also click here. So you can also change the name of your compute. So you can see the difference in the multi-node and the single node. If you click on the single node, some services will be disabled here. You can see here there are no node types, but if you click on the multi-node, you can see here work type and the driver type. Even you can see the standard here 618 dpu is showing here when you click on the multi-node, and when you click on the single nodes it will showing you only the 2 dpu, which will impact on your cost also here. After that you can see the access node and the single user access. So you can see there are three types: dedicated, standard and no isolation share. So previously this dedicated is called the single user, wherever you can access all the languages. Then the standard is previously called as a shared node, which you can use the Python, Scala and SQL. And no isolation share. So here you can share all the languages. So let me show you the difference. So you can see here single user, shared and no isolation. Single user is nothing but now we called it as the dedicated user, and shared user we are calling it as the standard users. So this is the you can see guys, whatever I am showing you, this is the latest UI of the Databricks. So if you select the single user, you can use all the languages like Python, SQL, Scala and R. So it can be assigned and used by the single user, referred to as assigned access mode in some workspace, which we cannot share with the others. In shared, that is standard, is always premium plan required, and you can see it is supported the Python language, can be used by the multiple users with the data isolation among users. Then third type is no isolation share. The admin can hide this access mode by enforcing user isolation in the admin setting page. And there is related account level setting for no isolation shared compute, where you can use the Python, SQL, Scala and R languages. Then there is the custom node. This option is shown only if you have an existing compute resource without a specified access mode. Now let's understand with the help of demo. So we will select here the single user, means dedicated. Then performance, you can see here Databricks runtime version. So there are multiple versions available, but we will select the 15.4 LTS, which is by default. So you can see here use photon acceleration. So this is used in the Databricks, which is optimize the query engine that boosts the SQL performance by using the advanced CPU processing technique. So as of now we don't require, so we will enable this. So you can check, if you enable this then it will take 2 DPU, and if you uncheck this then it will take 1 DPU only. Then you can see node type. So there are two types, worker type and driver type. So you can see in the worker type there are the multiple options available: general purpose, delta cache accelerator and 16 more. You can see here there are different options are available. So we will see the minimum one. Then you can see minimum worker and maximum worker. So I will keep minimum worker 1 and maximum worker 5. Suppose if I take the 5, and if you see here driver type, I can select same as worker if I want, and if I want to change then you can select from here. So next option is enable auto scaling. So you can see if you unclick the enable auto scaling, Then you are able to see 19 dBu, and if you click here, then you are see 3 to 19 dBu. So enable scaling, auto scaling is nothing but it is based on your workload. If you want to increase number of executors, and if my workload is consuming most of the workers nodes at the maximum of 5, all node will be executed. But if my workload is using only 2 nodes, then other 3 will be terminated from here. So we'll enable this option. Then you can see terminated after. So here we can set the minutes. If you want to terminate after 30 minutes, after 1 hour, so you can terminate your cluster if it is not in use. So it will also impact on your cost. So always remember, once your work is done, you can terminate your cluster. So you can see in the advanced options, Azure Data Lake Storage Credential Pass-Through. So Databricks advanced option help to customize your compute settings. You can enable the Azure Data Lake Credential Pass-Through for secure data access. Configure the Spark setting for the performance tuning. So in runtime version, I have already shown you there are 2 types, standard and ML. So let me show you. We are creating our compute in the all-purpose compute type and we can select the latest Databricks runtime version. For the scheduled job, you can select the long-term support, and if it is machine learning, then you can select the ML runtime version, which is designed specifically for the machine learning tasks. Now let's click on create compute. So guys, let me tell you one thing. If you see this compute is terminated. So you can see guys, here the multi-node is not supporting. So what we will do here, we will create the personal compute. Just click on create. Click on personal compute. Confirm. Simply click on create compute. So you can see this is in running state. We will wait for a few minutes. So as we can see, the multi-node and the single node is not supporting to the free trial account, but you can go with the personal compute, so it will support. So you can see this is in running state. So my cluster is working now. So in this way we can create the compute. So there are one more option is available, Community Databricks, which is a lifetime free account. You can simply create or sign up to the communityclouddatabricks.com. Here we can create the notebook and we can run on this cluster. So you can see compute option is there. Simply click on create compute and here you can create your compute. So let me discuss the cluster rules in the Unity catalog. We can see that policy are rules set by admin to control the cluster configurations. They restrict the options available to user when creating clusters. Access control list define which user or group can use specific policy. With unrestricted policy can create cluster with any configuration. So which way I already shown you. If you select the no isolation, then Unity catalog will be disappear. So in the Azure Databricks fundamental, we have covered the big data distributed processing, introduction of the Azure Databricks, Databricks architecture, and today we have seen the cluster management, types, configuration and creation. So in the next lecture, we will talk about the exploring notebook, markdown formatting, magic commands and the file system and notebook utility. If you feel this video is informative, please like, comment and share my video. Thank you for watching. Keep growing and learning.